Hello, good afternoon. So my name is Josep and I want to introduce LiveLoop. LiveLoop is a software that is created out of the necessity of developing the LiveLoop technique. The LiveLooping technique has been since the 80s, since the technology allowed us going on. Or actually, it started in the 50s with the tape loop recording, but for live performance, it started after that. And I do live looping for several years. And first I started with hardware pedals, and I used to have like the Boss RC300, which was the most advanced live looping pedal at the moment. That was some kind of 8 years ago, and I started performing with that pedal, and I started putting a lot of effects. I started doing the clarinet, connecting synthesizers. But at some point I realized the live loop, the Boss pedal had only 3 tracks to control, and very limited for synchronization. I had in mind I wanted to compose music that would be like beyond the 4/4 bars that we know until now. And I also had the idea of subdividing the beat into different subdivision. Normally, most of music we hear now is in 4/4, and the beat the subdivision of the beat is in 4 as well. And I was interested to create it as a software that would be for advanced live looping, that could make live beats, like for example 29/8 that we can hear now, an example of a beat. So you count the beats, is like take-timmy, take-di, take-timmy, take-di, take-timmy, take-di, take-timmy, take-timmy, ta. So this is a 29/8 beats that I composed a song with this beat, and I was performing it with the Boss pedal, but I couldn't make it synchronize it with the existing hardwares, because they were not prepared to synchronize all timings. So that was one of the things. Okay, I need to develop something to be able to play that. And also, one of the things I wanted to do is each track to have their own effects. So as we see here with the software, we have 8 tracks, and some are muted with the one you needed, and they are all they can be all synchronized, or they can also be the independent. And the good thing about this is that you can choose in the moment if you wanna sync, if you wanna free, you wanna context to the beat. It has all the possibilities that you can think of sound recording in the moment, and what can you do with that. So the modes that we have are sync mode, so it will keep all the loops in sync. We can also have free mode, beat quantized. Beat quantized, it will quantize to the beat. This mode is very special, and LiveLoop is the first software, and actually the first tool that allows to do that. It synchronizes the loop into the beat. So for instance, you can make a loop that is 5 beats, and another loop that is 3 beats, and another loop that is 7 beats, and it will keep it synchronized. And this allows to make a range variety of rhythms that have never heard before. So it's a really good mode for experiencing. And also comes with a freeze sound. So freeze is not a loop, it's just a freeze. So it gathers a freeze sound, and it sounds constantly. And also the reason I wanted to make this looper is all the existing loopers, you need 2 buttons for recording and for stopping. And I was thinking that for live performance, it's better if you're gonna make like many loops, like for instance, you're gonna make 8 loops, it's better to have 1 button assigned to 1 loop. So I developed this idea of when I press 1, so when I press the record button once, it will start recording. And if I press again, it plays. And if I press, it stops. Plays, stop, plays, stop. So, and if I hold it, it removes. So this, coming from this idea, is very useful for live performance, as you are focusing on playing, and then you know which loop is assigned to which button, and it's most comfortable to play. Also, there were a lot of features that I was searching in loopers that I couldn't find. For example, fade in or fade out loops. Normally, when we're listening to loop music, the layers appear or disappear, but they don't fade out or fade in. And this is interesting. It's very musical. And I also have in this button, we can fade in, fade out, and we have like the time in seconds that we can assign that. Also, we can transport a loop, so we can make a loop in a tonality and transport in any tonality we like, and reverse, and also change the speed, pitch, like some kind of loop effects. Like basic loop, all the basic loop effects are here and more. And then after the loops, we have also the possibility to add plugins as VST or Max for Live. And each track you can add to each different plugins. So for example, for instance, track 1 has a mega math effect here. You can see that. LiveLoop, I consider LiveLoop the most advanced looping software, and I believe so, because when I started LiveLooping, I was working as a developer engineer. I worked for a consultant as an R&D engineer in different industries. And 4 years ago, my passion for music was so big that I stopped working, and I started my master's at the Conservatory of Amsterdam. So with my experience in engineering and developing, with my experience in music and doing my master's, I start thinking very analytical about a new software that is needed in the industry, and this was LiveLoop, and this is the result that it came out of it. And now I would like to make a short demonstration also about the old rhythms, how they work. So this was a demonstration of a 29/8-bit loop that you can do with LiveLoop. And I also want to make a demonstration of the bit quantized loop. And for that, I'm going to open a new preset. So in this loop, I'm going to make the first loop is going to be 5 bits. The second loop is going to be 3 bits. And there's going to be a third loop that is going to be 7 bits. And we are going to see how easy it is to play polyrhythms with these kind of settings. And also I want to mention in this bit, the bit is to divide in 5. So it's not going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will hear the bit. It's going to sound a bit funny if you're not used to this, but it sounds nice. So the 3 loops are in sync. There are 3 different loops, and you can see in the screen how they are synchronized. And now I'm gonna make a polyrhythm on the loop 3, a 4 against 3. And also, all other things we can do with LiveLoop, if you are familiar with Ableton, it can be synchronized with Ableton Link. And LiveLoop can be synchronized either with any hardware and any software, with either MIDI clock or Ableton Link, as I explained before. Also, the LiveLoop has different functions of recording, and it can be a slave or a master of the beat. Most hardwares and softwares can be only masters, but LiveLoop can follow a drum machine, for instance, or can follow another live looping pedal, and it will be in sync. LiveLoop also comes with a feature. This is called audio triggering, so it allows to make loops without actually touching any pedal or any MIDI controller. It will you can set it up to record like the instrument, like you say which instrument or which channel you is gonna take, and which target loop is gonna be. This is very suitable for musicians who want to make the first loop without touching anything, just playing the instrument. And also it comes with a feature that for musicians that doesn't want to have a click track, they can make their first loop, and the software will automatically recognize the beat and the BPMs of the song. So LiveLoop comes with a sequencer, we can see on the screen, and the sequencer it has all the principle of LiveLoop, so you can change the unit of the beat, as we can hear here. And what I was mentioning before, like the beat is now divided by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can actually change the grid, and it can be 5, it can be 7, it can be 6, it can be any number you want. So if you like LiveLoop, I invite you to go to our website liveloop.live and download the trial version. And if you have any questions, you can always email me and ask me any question, and I will help you setting up. You can find my details on the website liveloop.live. Thank you very much.